Hey folks, it's 9/11 a.m. Saturday, August 13th. Wolf energy is very strong hanging around with me today. I like that. It's base intuition. I want to clarify and expound on this Lily Ara thing with our friends and these new children being created. It's not just Lily and Ara. There are some other family members that are involved in this separate project. Now, this has been going on for over 11 million years now. Okay, it's not something that happens just because you have source energy in you. Okay, it's happening because it needs to. It's going to change the way it happens. Just let me get out of here. It's going to change the way it happens. These folk are wonderful, but people, you need to start meeting them in person. Okay. When I get home, I'm going to start making that happen, getting you ready for it. Literally putting you into an astral projection stage and having you all meet, and I'll be cranking up your scanner so you get a better picture of just exactly what they look like, or just using the scanner. But when you see multidimensionally, the scanner's a lot stronger. Those of you that I've cranked up, especially the family members, when I blend your scanner and pineal energy together, it does make your scanner see much better and deeper through more dimensions. That I did that with everybody. It's not that much longer. 2025. There's going to be some folks walking around in public that are not from this planet. They're going to be seen. There'll be a new brand of paparazzi. Change is coming. Big change. Everyone's life is going to be different, but those of you of family, source family, and there's a very select group of you, you have big jobs. Very big jobs. Remember, our friends on the other side, just like Bill Gates, has they have these scanners where their equipment can read. It's a multi-dimensional level. It can read other timelines that are made for you by source that exist at the same time, so that if you make a big change, there's another situation set up for things to happen. Why would they do that? If they do that with everyone, then they have another plan. They can keep moving in and out of plans, and everyone's life keeps moving. There's no stopping. There's also a way that source uses it to go back a year or two to change things for everyone's life, to make something else happen. I'm not going there with this video. But anyway, so they have the scanners, they can read this. Okay? They know things are about to that it's about to happen. Things are about to change. They can see it. I told you they can see 2 weeks ahead, and it's the chance. When they only look 2 weeks ahead, there's a very good chance things are going to happen a certain way. But when they look further and they keep seeing one or two different things happen, they know this is a pretty solid thing, that this is what the other side wants to happen. it's time they meet us in person and talk to us about what's going on, about being part of producing these children. Okay. No one's gonna, be visited at night and raped, but there is some of the stuff going on. Those of us of Ara and Lily, we kind of understand this. It's not something going on with everyone, with all the Aras and Lilies, okay? But it is something that just happened, and I had to bring it up. Some of you that are Source family, and there's some other people too, but right now I really want to deal with the family members, those that are still in good standing with me. The others, well, whatever, you all are being changed or whatever, most of you being left alone, but things are happening the way they need to. I warned those of you of family, I warned you. I told everyone this would not be allowed to change, but those of you of family, I warned you that everything was taken off of you and that you were responsible and there for your actions, and that there are consequences. Some of you already know it. If you haven't been out raising hell, don't worry about it, but don't worry about it anyway. There's only a certain amount of people that are family members that are or have been or will be drained of their source energy. Trying to stop the abuse in creation that has happened since the beginning. Oh man, that's personal suicide. That's going against everything that Lily and Ara stand for. That is abusive to all creation. Will not be tolerated. Not at all. Now let's get away from that thought process. And don't start emailing me, am I going to be fine and everything? If you're worried about it, chances are you're fine. Okay? If you're really worried about something happening, then forget about it. You have nothing to worry about. It's the ones that won't care and say screw you that have something to worry about. Okay? All right. So, folks, we're going to be walking around with these people. Okay? They know who you are. Because of the power level of source energy, you have greater responsibilities. You have jobs. Everyone, it's so many of you, almost all of you, so many of you I've talked to, it's just like, I know I'm here for a reason. I know something's going on. It's like, what? It's very confusing. You all came in body for the new change, December 21st, 2012, and it was supposed to be about everybody becoming aware about me pulling a barrier, the source energy barrier, as much as possible out of each body, depending on what that body needed for what percentage of it to be left in it, so that the energy from the planet, the spirit from the planet that originated in Gaia, the smaller part of the Kundalini, and then the other spirit, which is the real you. So they could see each other, and then people would start waking up more. Well, this has been happening, but it's supposed to be about like what Sylvia Brown was talking about. Praise Mother, Father, God. And of course, no, it's not. 2012, that was going to be abusive. Has finally become what it should be. 2016. Y'all feel, those of you that are awake already, you feel it. You know stuff's going on. Okay. And you're aware that the field is different. Well, it is. But sliding a little bit back towards topic, folks, these are our family. They're going to be it's a while ahead in the future. I'll tell you what, by 21, 25. There's going to be all kinds of beings walking around in person, just as regular as you and me walking in the street, living in different homes, doing stuff. For the most part, they'll have their own dwellings they'll bring here. Everything's going to change. It should. It's supposed to. The way business is done is going to change. If we were to do business The way business will be done in the future, if you were to do it now with people trying to take control over everyone, it'd be like quote unquote New World Order. When things are done with a different system, we do all loop. It's like we loop ourselves together. That's not the right word, you know. But we put ourselves together. We think planet, not country. Okay, with different territories. Usually, it's more like a continent. And it just breaks down into smaller parts as far as what's better for this region or that region. But folks, when you're doing things to help each other, it's not an issue. It's when people want to. It's when there's people who want to abuse and control you, and they put you in a big corral, and then they send you to slaughter. All that is wrong. So, again, back to the main part of it. These people are going to be walking all over the place. Those of you that are source here, you're going to be meeting them. I've told a lot of you people in consult that you're going to meet them. You know, a lot of people, you know, not source. It's just because source is so strong, it has more responsibility, and it's supposed to be doing more. It's supposed to get more done, not go against it. So it's time for some of you to start meeting these folks in person. You have to get a good image of them through astral projection and injection, just meeting each other that way and see each other. And a lot of that, like I said, is going to be using the scanner. The pineal to start seeing and get it started, and then the scanner is going to kick in, and then you're going to literally see very strong high definition of each other and start talking. And then you're going to meet in person. They'll phase in and out, maybe in the bedroom or hanging around the house. They kind of phase in and just phase out. That gives them a chance to say hello, and at the same time you can feel them, and then they go away. And then you start talking with them. And then they will begin to ask for permission to do anything. Thank you. To ask permission to do something, like, we would like to help you, you know, we would like you to be the member, the female or male part of a child with this person. And then it's like putting it together. No, it's not a dating service, but that way you have children, and there's no pain of childbirth and everything else, but very unique children. Okay. So, but that needs to be done in person. It needs to be respectable with everyone else. And right now what's going on with Shiny, with what she's been doing, that's between me and a couple of the lilies. Folks, there's some children that are coming. I've known this since I woke up 8 years ago, that there were children coming that are so strong, their abilities are so powerful, that that's going to blow people's minds. And then people will see what they are. They're beings. They're people like us. They're beings. Grass is people. Trees, animals. We're all people. Okay? Beings. We're family. Like it or not, doesn't matter. I don't care. Lily doesn't care. We want you to get along, but you know what the thing is? Just don't beat each other up. And you need to find out that there are some physical beings, not one, not a couple. No one's going to turn this into a damn religion or something. But there are some very powerful beings out there, and they are selfless. Not selfish, selfless. And they will be of Lily and Ara's energy, and you will understand, those of you that want to. Some people are going to be running around with their eyes closed, and I see everything, this is the way it is, you know, let them. But you will see that you'll understand by seeing them, how they feel, how they care, who they are inside. And then you know that, and then you'll understand there's a reason to be calm about the two new caretakers. Not a mother, father, God. The caretakers, an older brother and an older sister, your oldest brother and your oldest sister, that just care for you. They don't want anything. And then as they're learning to make things happen in the house a lot better and get it pretty damn right. And remember, there's things always changing, okay? But the reason why I say that is you can get something right, and then all of a sudden something else pops up, and you have to, react to that, and put that into the equation and come out with a better answer. Folks, that's normal. That's growth. That's progress. Remember what I said earlier about a carpenter. All of a sudden bends a nail, so what? He's not a carpenter anymore? No, that's not true at all. He'll learn after he bends a couple nails that either he's got some faulty nails, or he's not hitting it right, or whatever. Folks, none of us, all of us, we're not dumb. We learn. We can be put in a body with a defective brain to abuse us, give us a hard time, but we're not dumb. No one is. People will understand that there's a reason to relax. That they'll see they're not getting beat up anymore. And when something gets stupid, it'll be taken care of. As far as all these laws we have, come on, man. Half these things are ridiculous. I remember there was a law in Stamford, Connecticut when I was a kid. I was a teenager. I don't know, probably 15, something like that. 16, 15, 14. And I had just heard about a law that they had. There was a big joke about it in the newspaper, where any woman showing her exposing her ankles in public would be arrested. And when I was 14, I'm 61 now, okay? It's not that long ago. I mean, it's a ways, but things were not like that, okay? It's like the 60s. Hello. Whatever it was. Anyway, yeah, it was 60s. I can't think like that. Anyway, we have a lot of them that are stupid. They're totally unnecessary. When you take the frustration, anguish, and abuse out of your daily lives, out of creation itself, there's no need for that extra stuff. It would be so far past redundant. It's a joke. I love you, Herky buddy. How you doing? Okay. I love you, buddy. Find a spot. There you go. So you're all going to be meeting them, talking with them. Shake hands, don't shake hands, but I'm talking eye to eye, physical touch contact type thing. You don't have to touch each other, but you will, you'll be able to. That's how things come together. It's going to happen that way. Nothing's going to stop it. But there will be consension. People will consent to what happens. This federation selling fishing permits, so to speak, to come over here and take some of us off the planet, do what they want with us. The animals will be gone too. Things will be made to where we can eat properly and not kill animals, because the animals are going. So they see all this stuff on the scanners. Their scanners, their future scanners. They know what's going to happen. It's so close. What certain things that are going to happen, it's obvious. Okay, when I know there's a lot of people listening to this, but at this moment I'm speaking directly at family members. They wanted my DNA. They wanted my reproductive abilities, okay, to spread out with, into some of the annas. These children are not better than anything else. Powerful, folks. DNA. It's DNA. Evolved DNA to an incredible point. These children will be so powerful when they walk by. If they were to walk by a crowd where people are all awake, every one of them is going to be feeling it, just like a nuclear reactor just walked by. They're going to be here to help keep peace, to show compassion, to help. They're going to be here to be themselves. That's the biggest part of it. That's what you're going to see, though, is who they are. So then that will help you understand what's taking care of you, taking care of creation, which you're, you know, an important part of. So 7 years from now is when this stuff is going to start coming out strong. So that's what that's about. I'm not going to explain how you're going to know when you've been visited, those of you that are Lily inside, but if you talk to Anne, I might have said Anna earlier, I don't know. Anna, she'll be left alone. But Anne understands. And if you're family, you can get a hold of her. She's going to have the latest database of everything available to everyone else about family and everything else. And she's strong. She'll know when you're family or not. And we all work together. And then thespiritualfoundation.com is going to be a way for all of you to access each other, plus everyone else to access you. So they need help, want to have a consultation, they want to get cranked up. There's going to be a few different people. We're building the page for Bijou and Paul right now. And then I'll have to nudge Deanna to make her page in a little bit. She's not quite comfortable enough yet, but she will be soon. But Paul and Deanna are. So we live and work within a day. We deal with what we have. But great change is coming within 100 years, which is basically the working day we have right now. That's where all the change, where all the biggest change happens. This 100-year period is going to be incredibly powerful. Then there's 100. Then there's another 100, 200 years, and then it's going to be about 2,000 years from now. That's when the physical bodies are pretty much, are very well on their way to having faded away. No pain, frustration, those stuff like that, but nothing like living like this. So those of you that are family members that got so excited about this, please don't. It's going to be, it's mostly a Lily Ara thing right now. But they'll be coming to you to check you to make sure you're okay. If you find a little needle mark, don't worry about it. Look at it, see what it is. Don't worry about it. Shiny was in my head twice recently. She went in one time to get some dead, some of the dying brain matter from where I'm being shut down. My brain's being, killed this time. And then she went in the left side, and I think it was last night, went on my left side and got a few different pieces, and then she wanted to get a lot of DNA too out of my brain and other stuff. So, and then reproductive fluids to make stuff happen. So if this is hard for anyone to hear, I apologize for any funky feeling. You can always turn the video off, but you know what, I think we're all adults, folks. This is happening. We have family in space, really cool people, some buttheads, most of them here. The Ninnies, as I've always called them, is kind of a childish name, but they're a bunch of ninnies. They're a bunch of, an old word we used to use is nincompoop, which is kind of a person who's just really got some issues. But they're very controlling. It's like almost like they're pirate type people, just take what they want and abuse planets. They pretty much destroyed Mars a long time ago. So anyway, don't worry, anybody, don't worry about this happening where you're going to be abused. All this stuff going on where people have been taken out at night, and some of you wonderful people, you've literally at night been taken from your bed, and you've been brought on the ship, and you've actually met some of the children that you're that you helped produce. It's almost always the mothers. But what happens is they take the eggs out, they fertilize them with the proper DNA match, and then what they're going to do, well, what they do is reinsert them inside the woman, the mom, for a short while, and then they come get it out. You might feel a little discomfort some days. When you wake up, you're going to find, usually when that happens, you find you sleep longer, and you wake up, you're calmer, but it's a little, I want to say fuzzy. You're a little slower. You're moving okay. You're awake. You're aware, but everything's just, it's like, it's not like you're walking through water, but it's about halfway there. And you might, the chances are you're going to feel a little bit of discomfort somewhere. Not a lot, just a little bit. Shiny knows I'll be gone real soon, so she got all she could. She took good care of me, but I definitely knew what happened. I didn't have to see it, but I always go to see it to know. All this stuff, we've been allowed to be abused. All that's stopping, folks. I'm telling you, you have no idea how good things your life's going to get. There's a lot to that. Isn't it time? Isn't it time the abuse to everything just stopped? Life has to contain strife, but not abuse. There's a big difference. You go into a body so you can grow as spirit, evolve, develop. Not develop abuse frequencies from being beat up so much, way too hard. You grow bigger. It's like getting bigger muscles, but you get abuse frequencies, and that screws you up. Like you won't even know. You won't even be aware of it. You'll think you'll be hooked on power, everything else, and I look inside people and I see everything, those frequencies in there, so it's just screwing you up. One of the worst I've ever seen, actually the worst I've ever seen, was the soul. He was a spiritual traveler type person. He just did whatever he was told to whenever. He was inside the Russian guy that Stalin. He was inside Stalin. And when I saw him, he was so sick. He couldn't hardly even function. I pulled all that stuff out of him. He's hurting. He was hurting so bad. He's better, doing a lot better now, but he's still healing. I did that years ago. So change for the better for everyone that wants it and appreciates it. No one has to do anything other than not abuse anyone else. But when that happens, it won't be tolerated. So I'm talking about people in the second dimension doing that. On this third dimension here, that's about to come into effect too, karma. When people start thinking about karma, they're going to think all caps. So anyway, it was important for you to know some of that, and those of you that are family, please don't worry about it. Okay, you're fine. Things are going to get better for everyone everywhere. People are going to respect each other, or they're going to leave each other alone. If you don't have respect for someone and you mistreat them, you're going to be literally given more than a timeout. You'll be put somewhere where you can just be yourself a while. If you can't ever change, then sorry. If you can't be fixed that way, then you'll be handled in a different manner. Some people have said, you know, Jay, you have no right to do this, you have no right to do that. I'd see people, this one woman, I saw her, she had lung disease, and I said, look, I'm not telling you what to do, but, and I have a feeling you already know, but I want to tell you personally, you know you have problems in your lungs, you do have cancer, you have lung disease, and you know what? It's getting worse. It's getting very serious now. Please go see a doctor. And she got so pissed, started screaming at me, you have no right, blah, blah, blah. I said, I do whatever the hell I want that I know is right for other people. That's why I was made. And if people don't like that, I don't give a damn. Oh, you must always ask. That's a good thing for everyone to do for each other, but sorry, that's not what I'm here for. I wasn't made for that. I'm the oldest thing there is. Lily and I. The only thing that's older is that angel that you'll call Lucifer, the big part of it that everyone calls us, you know, the devil, all this other stupid stuff. G, not he or she, but G was the first being made after the original first being split into male and female. And then the other angels. And then Lily and then the two large pieces of clean source energy. One of them opened up into Lydia and Armelius, and then the larger one with all the fortitude and heart was Lilith and Aramelius. And they're all gone. So anyway, it's time for all this stuff to happen, and it is. It will. They will be walking around. 2125. You walk down the street, you'll see them from different planets. It'll be kind of unique. Anyway, folks, I love y'all. It's so hard trying to find the right words sometimes. It's not like I'm abandoning anyone ever. But folks, I can't get to all your emails. When you know you need to get a hold of me, you need to get a hold of me. But that's I can only reach just a few people, and it's just some family members mostly, that need to know something about what's happening. I am sick. You know, I'm supposed to be. I don't have the energy, and I still got stuff I got to do, take care of. So if you want to get upset about me not getting with you and your email being ignored, help yourself. There's no time left. Pretty soon there'll be no J left. So the best advice I can give you is to talk with Burju, Paul, and Deanna. Time exists everywhere because it's a flow of events that happen in an order which we call chronological. It happens on the other side. It happens everywhere. My time's come. As far as this body, it's a beat up lease vehicle. I'll probably have to pay for the high mileage on it. So don't think I don't care, and I'm never really leaving, but this body's going. I need to be free again. And I'm never coming back. That's, you know, I got stuff I got to do. A lot of you don't ever want to come back in a body. That's completely respectable. You don't ever have to. But my responsibilities demand it never happens again, and I got no problem with that. 10.846 trillion lives. Folks, I'm done. I understand having lives. Lily's had over 8 trillion. It's time for us to be caretakers. A good, proper, caring big brother and big sister. Folks, love you, man. I hope some of you can find some good in what I just put out. That's a lot of information that you'll find to come true later. Your children, their children. That's what it's about. The progress of creation as a whole, as a family. Isn't it time? I love you, old man. Take care. I had forgotten something. Gee, imagine that. Those family members that are definitely very involved in what's in moving forward. I'm making some videos and parts lists and everything of what you need, making the spheres, cranking people up properly. Those of you that are source are the only ones can do this. Those of you that are part of this group that I know you're going to do, who you are, that you're going to do the right job. I will literally show you how to, besides cranking someone up, how to release someone's abilities out of them. It was a lock that was put on the human body. As you crank people up, number one, don't worry about it. You're strong enough. You got it. It's normal for everyone to worry about stuff. It's normal. It's done to these bodies. So don't worry about it. You just go through the motions. You'll feel the energy in your hands, the energy going through your body. You feel that, it's happening. You can't stop it. Don't forget who's the field, okay? Pops is in the field. So, you know to trust me, just continue, okay? When you go to crank people up, you and the large part of you outside your body is controlling it. If there's an issue, Lily and or I will be right there dealing with it. When you go to release them, that takes a lot of power. That's something kind of unique. It's already going on. Brigiu's already done it. When you go to do that, you're going to be fed everything you need. You're going to have help doing it. So as you take the time to relax and pull that away from someone, it's going to be done. You're going to begin to do it. If you need help, it'll be done. But that takes a lot of power. I went through incredible pain for about 3 months for my brain to be changed so I could do it myself through my head. Okay, don't worry about that. You're not gonna, none of you are going to go through that. That's enough of that. You make the intention, you apply your energy into it, you'll have an extra set of hands right there with you. So don't worry about it. The population has to be cranked up. Some of you will be taken off on neat little planes and going pretty far away to do this stuff, okay? So I'll get that information out to you. You'll access it through Deanna, and Deanna knows who to give it to. So and of course Paul and Brigiu and others, I'll be sending it to you directly. Folks trying to call up to get this information from Deanna, she'll already have the list. She already knows who. You're not going to get by on her. So a lot of people will want this thinking they can do it. They can't. And just because you're source doesn't mean you can do it. So those of you that are family, just don't even bother calling her for a month. But talk to her then. and she'll tell you. And as soon as you talk to her, I'll be in her head anyway. Tell her what to do. All right, folks. But anyway, those of you that need it will have what you need. Those of you that are helping other people, you're going to have all the help you need. And as your brain grows, there's times you need someone else to talk to. When your brain cells are growing, and you literally get momentarily dumb, unable to really function properly. Your thought process is interrupted. It makes you feel dumb. You act dumb for that time. That's normal. Okay? When that happens, pull some cards to talk, to get some information, or talk with a friend. If you want to do this all by yourself, I appreciate the fact that you have the fortitude to move forward, but you need to understand stuff. When you're getting work done, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to give someone the right answer. So if you're more concerned about you being able to say, I did it all myself, and you being able to do everything yourself without ever asking for, talking with a friend about it, when they're going through it too, on and off, then I'm going to tell you one thing what that is. It's sad. Okay? And it doesn't... I want to say it doesn't say that much about your character, but it's not really true. We're givers. We don't like asking for help because we want to do it ourselves and help everyone. And it's not that we want to say we never had to ask for help, but we do it. We just want to help others. It's hard for us to accept help, folks. Change that thought process. Okay, if you really want to help people, work together. Okay, everyone's different frequencies, and when you're growing, it's different. Talk to your spirit guides. Talk to your animals. Your animals are there. Okay, and animals tell you what you need right up. Get a download a picture. I got a picture of wolf, a few other animals that when I really need it, I look at a phone, and sometimes I literally wonder if I'm drooling out of my mouth because my head was getting hammered so hard. I just look at the phone. I can't focus on anything. And then while I'm doing this, while this is being done to me, here I come, coming, honey. I'm being attacked. So not only am I out of focus, I'm being attacked fighting stuff while it's happening. So yeah, I just get a hold of a picture, see wolf, and sometimes that wolfagan. And sometimes that's hard enough, and I just get a base heart feeling. And then plus, I'll grab what's around me. Literally, I don't have to put it in the sphere anymore, but if I get hit real hard, I gotta just make a sphere around my head and pull everything off of me. Like, ooh, okay, now, what the heck? And then see what's going. Lots of times I'm getting help, but just getting hit hard. I love you, Herc. We're going right now. So, Herc's the boss. Herc says, Pops, get it going. Good burp. That was a good one. Good man. He makes me feel better when I do it around the house, Guess it's a guy thing. I love you, buddy. Anyway, folks, I love you too. Waking up's hard to do. And what you go through, you'll understand other people going through. But when it's time, find help from where you think you can get it best. You can always get it immediately from your spirit guides. But it's fun to talk with each other too. It's nice to know other people go through some of the same stuff. You'll probably have some jokes about it. Like when you go walking down the hall, all of a sudden you get hit so hard you're leaning into the wall with your hand so you can keep walking. Folks, I love you, man. We'll see you soon.